Welcome to Miss Pádel. Today we have a very special guest. I say always that they are special, but this time it's true. It's always true. We have Ana Cortiles. Is a person that I consider my friend and my paddle coach. Well, coach could be if I were good. I'm still learning, so my teacher somehow.
No, coach, it's great.
Coach is you
and
prefer,
friend more.
Yeah, friend too. Give me 5. Okay. And we wanted to talk to her because in a very short amount of time, she has become the reference for coaches and also competition paddle in the US. And to me, there are some things that make her different. It's based on her background, where she has been competing for a long time in Spain and worldwide with the World Padel Tour. She's been part of the PPL, and that's why she came to the US for the first time, and she decided to stay. So since then, we're gonna know a lot more about her journey, but to me it's a very special journey because she's setting the foundation of paddle here, and also from a female point of view. I think there was something that we didn't really have, someone that also focuses on women playing, learning, and having interactions that are not just like, let's say, for Instagram, but also like when you want to craft and learn a sport. So those are some of the topics we're going to touch during our conversation. So thank you, Ana.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm super happy to be here. And it's an honor because for us it's difficult. We have a very full life, but it's good to stay here.
You've made a little time because she's super busy, believe it or not, but she's uber busy, I would say. And also I really appreciate something that from Spain could sound like, what the heck they're doing? And is speaking in English instead of Spanish.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot of times, and I want to do in Spanish, but it's a good idea to try to do in English. Sorry for my mistakes, but I try, and it is what it is.
It is what it is, but that's something people say here, and I think everybody appreciates the effort of communication more than if it's perfect or having an accent. Or I think when someone wants to communicate, they get to that goal. And also, and this is a very honest compliment, you've improved so much in such a short amount of time. Like you are totally immersed, not just in the Miami life, but also in the US lifestyle.
Yeah, totally.
That maybe you are not aware, but you are more and more adapt to the place where we live and the way you communicate with your students and with the people. So I think you are not aware, but it's a big change.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I try since I start here, because I think that we stay in a new country and you need to adapt to the culture of this country, not the country up to you. At the final, for me, this is the most important and the most respectful. To, for example, in my clinics, if only there is a student that speaks English, I speak in English, of course. And I think that it's a must to learn more and more. And for me, that's the reason too that we do this podcast in English.
In English, yeah, and I really appreciate it. And also, I think the knowledge you have right now in the US is unique. So you are kind of an evangelist of paddle here.
Oh my goodness.
But there are not many people that come from pure paddle. There are a lot of people that come from tennis and adapt to paddle.
Yeah, that's true.
But a pure paddle player that is a pro and also likes to teach, because sometimes you find people that are really good players but they don't like to teach. They do that for a living, but you don't feel that they have that passion for teaching, learning, following their students, like putting attention on how they perform or what they do. So setting that standard, I think is really good for the paddle ecosystem in the US, right?
Yeah.
So how do you envision that? How has been your journey to say, okay, I want to stay here and I'm going to do this?
Yeah, well, I think that it started when I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, well, or more. My father told me, Anna, I don't know if you are better player or teacher. And I thought, okay, that's good or it's bad in this moment, you know?
Yeah.
No, the thing is, I always like do lessons. I did lessons since I was, I don't know, 14 maybe. I start in my town doing lessons during the Sundays to kids and wherever. And I really like it because I like the details, I like the technique. I try to learn about to my teachers during all of my degree, and I try to get the best things of all of them, and try to not do the bad things of all of them, you know, and create a teacher with all the mix of the things, you know.
Who has been the coaches that has inspired you the most during your life?
Well, I think that my media naranja in Spanish it's Pablo Crocetti. I learned a lot of him, and for me, a part of his knowledge is a super important thing that during 5 years, I never know if he has a good or bad day, and for me was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's super professional.
That's super professional, and I think that we are friends, and I know a lot her character, and I never know.
No, but that says a lot of positive from him.
Totally,
like how he,
and I try to do the same. I don't know if I get or not, but I try.
Yeah, but no, it's true. Like when you go to a class with you, it's always structured.
Okay.
There's a beginning, something, and also the end, and the way you use it or condition game, and also the attention to detail to different teacher or students. So I think it's not just to take the playbook and this, but also trying to put an eye
when
on
there
everything.
are 4 people, it's more difficult than when it's a private lesson. But I try to do the same, but less, you know, because if I stay only with you, correct the forehand ball, all the details, the other 3 people, it's like no, it's impossible. But I try to mix the different things, and then I always say a good idea is try to do a private lesson and then a clinic and a mix of different
because if you do always like a private lesson, then the positioning or some of the things, so
you need to practice during the matches or during the games, and that's a good combination.
So far during this year, how do you see the evolution of paddle in, let's say, both in the US and in Miami?
Okay, I think that the last PPL, not the PPL of this year, the previous one, previous one, in Thetford Hills, was amazing for the level of all the players here in United States and in Miami, because the most players are from here. Not at all, but it was amazing because all the players improve the level after this, because they start to train like the more professional way, and start to do a physical condition, more training every day, and I think that this league was amazing for the level.
Yeah, and the ecosystem, like a year ago we had, let's say, Real, a little bit of Ultra, Wingwood and Paddle Life, and 3 courts in Key Biscayne. And now I think we have 3 times more courts in just 1 year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So how are you seeing all this development in general?
Yeah, it's crazy, and for another part it's scary, and for another part it's amazing. I don't know, different feelings, no? It's perfect that there exists a lot of clubs, because it's good for the people that play, but I don't know if there are enough people for too many clubs.
Yeah, I think it's part of also like being a coach, like onboarding people, teaching them the basics with good basics.
Totally.
So learning
important
from the beginning and letting them have fun, and then come back for improving. So this moment, I think, is key for the future right now.
Totally. When I start a lesson, I start always for the basic shots, because I think that it's the same that try to learn English without the verb to be, you know? It's impossible. Same with the simple forehand, the simple backhand. You need to start with the basic things, the basic movements, and then continue, no? And for me, it's super important, the beginners clinics, because that's a way that the people learn how to play to this sport, because sometimes you can watch matches from people that never do a lesson,
it's
and
crazy.
it's like, and for the...
they can get injured.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
It's bad. It's true.
Be careful with it, to the grips, to the movements, the shoulder.
And also like hitting the wall or things like that.
And
It's
without
scary.
the wrist.
Yeah. So, how is a day in your life, in general?
Okay. A typical day in my life, I start the day at 6:30. I wake up at this hour, and then I do lessons. I start at 7. That's my peak hour at 7 a.m. Yeah, here in Miami it's totally normal. And I do, I don't know, 4 hours more or less during the morning.
Yeah,
and
but here 11 a.m. is hot already. So
depending on
the time of the year.
Yeah, but during the summer, promise, yes. Then I go to train with my partner, Luise, and my trainer, Gusti. That's my team.
So their names are? Luis
Elena Perez and Gustavo.
Okay.
It's
difficult.
So sorry.
I don't know how to... We will tag him. We will tag him. I don't know how to read that. No.
Exactly. It's like, from here I put the tag.
Let's say Gustavo.
No, and then I try to continue with my physical trainer. I come back with my trainer from Spain, with Alexis, and I'm super happy with this decision. And then I take a lunch, and I continue my day at sometimes at 4:30, sometimes at 5:30, and I do another hour and a half or 2 hours. And after this, I go home. I work in my Neurona project. That's my company. Well, we continue with this topic after this.
Talk about it a little bit, because I think that's a regular day. So you have your paddle life, which is teaching, competition, training for competition, teaching, all that, looking after yourself, like self-care, all that, and also your entrepreneurial journey. And I think it's very interesting, because that shows that you have some willingness to build something for you that is related to health, to paddle, to performance, but also to your, let's say, marketing skill set or your previous knowledge and what you want to achieve and develop and research, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if still it's like stealth. We can have a sneak peek. What's Neurona? What are you doing there?
Okay, first of all, Neurona, it's the most special project now in my life. A part of the company, it's a company with one of my best friends here, Lola Priego. We tag too.
Yes. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Brilliant.
And our company, it's a nootropics company.
Which in Spain they don't know what nootropics are.
Well, nootropics, it's a kind of supplement.
Like natural.
And it helps to the focus during the game. It helps to reduce your lack of energy, right? Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a boost of energy somehow.
Exactly. Improve the reflex during the game. Well, it has a lot of benefits for your play and your game, and it can change your day. If you have a bad day, it can change to a good day and have better feelings during the game.
So what you are doing there, and I think it's important, let's talk about a little bit about Lola. She's gonna be here soon, but she's been into health and tech for a long time. She started like medicine. She has had several startups into that field. She's well known in San Francisco and the Bay Area and Silicon Valley. And this is her new endeavor. You are the co-founder there.
Yes.
So I think we are putting together two people that are brilliant in their fields and putting all their knowledge to create a new product. So on your part is more the marketing part, but also the on-court, like the real test, what they call dog food, like trying for yourself what you're doing, is that. So you're trying it too.
Of course, for me it's super important, believe in the product, believe in the company, believe in all of things that you put, for example, in the social media. Because if you don't believe in it, it fails. The people knows. I always post things that I use, that I believe. It's impossible for me repost things that
that are not aligned with your values and what you use. So it has to be legit, something legitimate that is what you really
and
use.
I use during the most difficult matches because I think that this product helped me totally to put more focus during my game. For example, I use during the semi-final and the final the US Open. And I think that it's super helpful.
Okay, no, good to know. So we won't give that to Brittany and. I get it. Also, let's talk about a little bit about your pala, right? Because you've been playing with that almost a year too, right?
Yeah, I think that a little bit more.
And do people ask you about
my racket?
Yeah, about I see. I don't know. Usually the student wants to have what the teacher has.
Yeah.
But maybe you say no, this is not for you, or is the opposite because it's a controlled one. Usually,
it's
people
a super
like
easy
to have aggressive.
It's super easy racket. I recommend for different levels, a different kind of players because for me this racket it's perfect for a lot of people. When I try it during a content session in Madrid with Sioux, and I try for a warm up, and I say, okay, I want this racket. This is my racket.
That's the one you want.
I love it.
I think it's important too because right now, here in the US, people know like the typical brands that come from tennis. But they don't really know the brands that we know from Spain, right? Like Sioux, Nock, Pro Pádel. So I named them. You are Sioux player, but those are the ones that having this expertise for a very long time, but they are not known here. So I guess if I'm a person that doesn't have that context, I don't know what to buy. So I guess it's one of the things that people always ask you.
I think that this is one of the most important things that. It's the same than when we spoke about the Neurona. I use the racket during my lessons because I believe in it.
Yes.
And when I play with the racket, the people watch it and believe in the racket.
Yes.
You know, because if I play with another racket and then I say to you, okay, Rosa, buy this racket.
This one.
It's like, okay, use it. If the racket is so good, use it.
No, and I think it's honest that because you walk the talk, like you do what you say, not the opposite.
Exactly.
So
I try in a different parts of my life do these things because I am a person that I think that the things that you say align with the things that you do.
Yeah, that having principles makes sense. And let's go back to a little bit to the competition, right?
Okay.
Like these past months, you've like posted a lot, and you're like challenging the number ones. Let's see, like the end of the season, how it goes. How is this project with Luis Elena? How is it working right now?
Well, we start in the start of the summer. I think that in June, and actually we started in Chicago after my scooter accident.
Okay.
And I arrived to the tournament like impossible to move during the tournament. I say, okay, Luis, I can move my neck, I can move my leg, but I try to do something.
Let's see.
And our history start like this. Imagine, no? and we play very good since the first day that we start, and we decide to create a project with Gusti too, and we decide to with our job, because it's difficult. She's a tennis coach and I am paddle coach, and we have a lot of hours in the court, and it's difficult sometimes to coordinate the trainings and all of this. But we're trying to train every day if we can every day.
Oh, that's a commitment.
We try, and
then you have to pay part of your prize money to the coach. I'm kidding.
Well, we pay with another things. No, that's a joke. He's one of our best friends, and the project is for 3, not for only 2. He's one of the principal parts of this project. It's not only Luisa and me. It's Luisa, me, and Gusti. We are a team, and if we win, he win, you know. And it was amazing because in New York he was in our place,
the bench,
bench, and you have an advantage when you have your coach in the bench
there. And something like the first time I saw you playing with Luisa, it was the Point on Beach,
I remember,
the replay one, Red Paddle tournament. And it felt like you had been playing for a long time together, right?
Yeah, since the start, because it was crazy because we play at match training, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks before the first tournament, and we played against a very, very hard pair of people, and we play amazing. We won this match, and I thought, oh my God, we play amazing. And since the start, we coordinate our game very, very good. Of course, with the trainings, we can adjust the things and whatever. But yes, since the start, we complement.
We complement each other very well.
Yeah, very well, because our games are very explosive. Because we are very, very fast people, and we try to do this, to play with this kind of advantage.
Yeah, like very energetic.
Yeah, we try.
I see. Oh, and I can feel it when I see you. So with all this, how do you see paddle in the US in the future?
I think that it grow very, very, very fast, because imagine, with all the clubs, with all the people that now play, it's impossible that it don't grow good, you know.
Yeah. So I have now it's time. Personal question.
Digo.
No, do you want Spanish? No. What can we do?
We continue
with my walls and my learning process.
It's in
because no, this is the moment. Chema, no me deja, me quiere quitar la vuelta. Tú sabes lo que cuesta la vuelta. You know how long it takes me to do la vueltita palderera. So what are we gonna do with my walls and my things?
No,
and my bajaditas?
You can turn, but when first
but
of
just
all,
when they say you can.
when first of all you are in the lateral glass, then if the ball comes to you, you can turn. But if you stay in your waiting position, it's better to open. I say always the same.
I still don't know when it's open and closed. I'm in big trouble with that. Yeah. What do you think about my project with Max?
I love it, you know, since the start.
I think how many couples do you have that like to train as a pair? Do you have more people like us?
I have more pairs, but not a couple that want to play the tournaments and all of this. But for me, if you play them tournaments, it's the best way to train. I always train with my partner.
Yeah, I think this is now going back to serious. I think it's important first to encourage more women to compete, because it's super sad that there are not, like, sometimes they have to take out categories or cancel the women's side of the tournaments because they are not enough.
It's expensive to compete.
It is,
here
but
in
even
States.
It's very expensive, and you are totally right, and it's huge.
Exactly.
The country and everything, but at the same time, I think women feel very challenged. Also, like the time, if they have some things to do, like kids and that, it's difficult to adapt to time that are changing. But taking that aside, to me, the best part of that is not just the willingness to go, but also the unknowns. Like, you don't know who are you gonna play against. It's not the regular people you play with.
Mm-hmm.
So you also have 2 sets. It's not the same as when you do a set up to 5. So you can change things and learn, and you see yourself in situations that you had never seen yourself. So after those tournaments, you can feel like we come back to you and it's like, hey, Anna, this happened. What do we do with this? How do we do with that? So the way you learn is different. Totally. Because you come with those notes.
I always
that homework, and that's why I feel like I wish more people were willing to do not necessarily USPA or things like that, but just women competing. Totally. I think it makes a difference.
Yeah, woman and men.
Yeah.
You know, because I always say to my students, after this match, please tell me the feedback, because with this feedback, it's easier to focus in the mistakes, focus in the improve the good things, totally. Focus, and you know how to attack you.
Yes.
You
yes,
know?
yes.
It's easier for the coach, and it's easier to improve your level.
Yes. Yeah, you level up by competing. Like,
totally.
It's
creating this kind of mentality. I think that your level improve quicker than always go to the lesson and then.
Yeah, because you feel that this time is for real. To me, there's something that is, let's say, contrarian, and is competition stains, like put dirty the way you play, because
Mm-hmm.
you deform yourself. Like, let's say sometimes you're less technique until you repeat a lot, but
yes,
you sacrifice that
totally
when you want to win. But at the same time, it makes you be in situations in which you really need to use what you learned. If not, you can be training that, but you never use it there.
Exactly.
So it's like a balance on when and how to use something, and that makes you, even at my slow learning path, grow.
Yes, and sometimes maybe in the training, during the session, you practice, I don't know, chiquitas, and then you try to do during the matches, and you think, okay, I can do it during, okay,
Yeah.
After this, you go to your session with your coach, and you can say, the chiquita's horrible, whatever, and maybe you can train more, or you can change and practice more the lob. I don't know, something.
Yeah,
but if you never practice, you never know if you can use or not use.
Yeah, it makes you like know yourself better.
Exactly.
And build that endurance and also focus. Like, to me, for example, there's something that has been super helpful, and is like closing the point. Like, sometimes you are 40-0, and then you relax, and so it's something that you always reinforce.
Yeah.
But it's something that I always keep in mind, and the people that train with you, I think we are always like, somehow you're starting to like set your standard on the way you teach. So there's like a Anna's school, or like the way you think and you make us think, right? So that's something that you are giving us, and it has a great value.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think about that, those tips that make a difference?
Yeah, I try to put this kind of conditions, because I think that there is the key during the real games.
Mm-hmm.
I try during my clinics in most focus in the key to compete better, because if I say something that you only use during the friendship match, but it's okay, but it's not helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I try to use this kind of things, because when you go to a tournament, you can be focused with these things, because in these situations you can put your focus in my forehand, it's better like this, or no. You need to stay focused in the score, and you need to try to win the match. That's it. If you put the ball like this, you put the ball like this in this moment. Doesn't matter. The most important is try to win. And what is the key to win? Okay, the key is try to finish the points, try to finish the game, put the pressure as the same player. You know, these kind of things, no?
Yeah,
are more helpful than another technique skills in this case.
Yeah, and something that I had not seen here very often is connecting with your partner too, like understanding who does that when the other one is not touching the ball too.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference.
The
So when I
face.
say that kind of knowledge that you have from your previous life is very different.
yeah, I try to use my own knowledge that I learned during my Olaf degree to you at the final. It's the same that when I speak about the coaches during my degree, but it's the same with all of my good moments, bad moments. I try to
transfer that.
Exactly, transfer.
Yeah. So I have one last question, and it's
the difficult one.
No. It's special, but I don't know. Maybe you are gonna answer Fuet or whatever. I don't know. But what do you miss the most from? I was going to say Spain, but it could be like your hometown.
My family and my friends, of course, and then.
But those small things, you know, sometimes paella, I don't know, the smell of whatever.
Paella. So it's horrible. Okay, if someone is watching this, okay, if you want that my mood would be better, I need a good paella here in Miami. Thank you so much.
Okay. I was thinking about Armando Rodiel, but he's in San Diego. So. I was thinking about that. So, paella catalana.
No,
bueno,
I don't.
No, el arrocito, el arroz. Okay. So, good luck. Thank you, and hope to have you here very soon with your Neurona project.
Thank you so much, Rosa.
And then you're gonna
for me, it's a pleasure.
She loves to do the pyramid. The thing, the pyramid should be forbidden, because one day she's not gonna have the toy. I'm gonna break doing that, and she's gonna.
Yeah, that's crazy, eh?
No, I know it's crazy. It's super crazy. Like, it's forbidden. Es como los pasos prohibidos.
You can do it. The next time you finish.
I
for
think
sure.
So. Let's try. I won't tell what it is, because it's better than no one knows. I don't want anybody to know. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosa.